don't know what song. I have 4 songs in my head. AOA podcast back for another episode. Holy cow, we got a whole big show for you. Lots of visuals on this episode. This will be a visual episode. We've got the Diddy freakoff pictures. I can't emphasize this enough. Parental discretion advised. We're about to look at some freaky things. You're about to learn 2 things. One, Diddy is as twisted and crazy as you're reading he is. And 2, I'm the complete opposite. I am so shocked by some of these things. I feel like if Janine were here, she would be laying into me about what a prude and, safe, person I am as far as bedroom adventures go. The Oval Office spectacle from earlier today, South African president in the White House with our president. One bad question from the media and the whole thing kind of fell off track. It's newsworthy. We have to talk about it. The most crazy thing I've seen as of late, Candace Owens coming to the rescue of Harvey Weinstein. This is shocking beyond shocking. And I'm going to dive into every little bit of this because you have to almost see it to believe it. Our Gayle King's days numbered at CBS, the graduate who was almost arrested for taking his kid onto the friggin' stage. And maybe the most devastating news possibly is Elvis Costello retiring. I don't want to live in a world where Elvis Costello does not exist, providing us wonderful music that he has been for years. All that and more, my friends, that's a podcast. We have a giveaway too. Stay tuned. Friday on the podcast, we're going to do a little giveaway, a little fun little giveaway. What is this? You're going to have to type. You have to put your name in. But we're going to be sending out some fun little things that we got going on over here on the AOA podcast. So if you want to win that, make sure you're a member because this giveaway is going to be for members only. You could join with the link in the description below. Our good pal Fly and Y likes to give these away, like that crazy person at a strip club that used to do this with the money. That's Fly and Y with our memberships. He gifts memberships like I feel like a ton, like 10 every episode. It feels like he's the best. But if you're not fortunate enough to catch one of Fly and Y's gifts, you can join for as low as $2.99. And you want to be in on some fun stuff. Last episode, Jay Sabs was recapping her Disney trip. We put a Disney photo up there for you guys. Members only. That's it. Only members. Nobody else can see it. Members only. So we always put some fun stuff up there, try to do some fun things randomly throughout the course of the year. And we'll do that on Friday's episode. We'll tell you how you can enter to win for a little fun giveaway. It's going to be a mystery giveaway. It's not huge. In fact, it's probably this big. It's not a big thing, but it's a fun thing. If you love the podcast, you will love this prize. I'll have more details on Friday, but I want to let everybody know you got to be a member first. So make sure you're all joined up and make sure your dues are paid in full. And of course, as always, from the bottom of my heart and everybody that works on the show, we appreciate the members. That's what fuels the whole thing, funds the whole thing, virtual studio, website, everything that it takes to put an episode together. That's where your hard-earned dollars are going for. So we appreciate you and we thank you for the support as always. It's tremendous. It's so great. Into the Diddy freak-off photos. We are not going to show you every last one of them. So if you do want to see that, I strongly encourage you to go out and seek that. They're out there. But I got about, 12 or so that we'll start off with. And it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a journey together. There's ammunition. There's Astroglide. There's lots of high heels. Not an insane amount of high heels, but way more high heels than I thought there would be, if that makes any sense. It's like, that's a lot of high heels. You know what I'm saying? And listen, my wife owns a lot of high heels. And I'm not pulling in Diddy money by any means, but I feel like if we're looking at ratio of billionaire to high heel ownership, this is a lot of high heels. Why are there so many high heels? Why is there ammunition? Lots of pills. They weren't lying about the baby oil thing either. That's all true. We've got the photographic evidence. Everything I'm about to put up on the screen for you right now was shown to the jury in the Diddy trial today. So that was all seen and all released by the Department of Justice. Lord bless the Department of Justice. Now, you're going to see some things on the screen here, not for everybody to look at. Might be getting into some trouble with the social media networks that we're on and broadcasting the show on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. My apologies, but people need to know the truth. Yeah. Put about times that mercury by 1 billion. And it feels like you're just looking through these and going, that's a lot of high heels. That's a lot of high heels. Also, should the guns be in a shoe-shaped box with all the other shoes? I just don't know. Not that I'm an expert in hiding guns, but it feels like it's not something you want to accidentally stumble upon when you're trying to figure out what footwear you're going to don for the night. You know what I'm saying? What's Manolo? Oh, is that like Manolo Blancs? I learned about Manolo Blancs like every other man through Sex in the City. My wife did wear a pair, I believe, to our wedding. I know she's got some Manolo Blancs. Don't worry. This was pre-podcast Manolo Blancs. I don't want you thinking your membership dues, your AOA membership support money goes to the Manolo Blanc fund. It does not. What did I say? Is it Blahnik? I think Paul is definitely right. Manolo Blahnik. What did I say? Blanco? Blanc? It's because I'm thinking of wine / and or tequila. So don't take that out on me. I'm not a big shoe guy. The Devil Wears Prada girl would have kicked me out of her office. Meryl Streep would have booted me out a long time ago. Long time ago. Anyway, let's dive in. So what can we see? Does anybody watch Jose Monkey? Jose Monkey is this great creator where people film videos of themselves at places and they go, find me, Jose Monkey. And then Jose Monkey always goes and reviews the footage and then goes, so what can we see? And he always has this like detailed analytical look of like, look at this tiny corner of this little street sign. This is a Denmark street sign. He's the best. I love Jose Monkey. So I'm taking a little page from Jose Monkey. What can we see here? Okay, so we can see, like I said, a lot of platform shoes. Hold on a second. Are these clear platform high heels? Yes. Where does one buy clear platform shoe high heels? Is there a hooker store that I'm unaware of? Is there I remember a buddy of mine became a cop and I called him one day and I go, where are you? He goes, I'm at the store. I go, what store you at? Like the police supply store. I'm like, wait, there's a store for that? He's like, yeah, where do you think we got all our stuff? Like they got to buy the pants and the hats and the shirts and the special cufflinks and sometimes they have the thing and Roger that. I got to think all the police stuff. Is that like a police store? So is that the same thing for streetwalkers? I'm just asking. Is there like a stripper supply store that I don't know about? Because if you look here, there's not one, there's two clear heeled platform high heels. That one on the back and the one before it that looks like it might be black high heels, those are clear. There's just a black thing underneath the back of it. So that's great. How do you do? I wouldn't even, if my wife was like, can you buy me clear platform shoes? It would take me years I would be like, where's the hooker supply store? I don't even know. I don't even know where that is. Paul, this is a good question. Cuck rings? What's a cuck ring? Is this what a cuck ring is? Is it the thing, right? Is this the cuck ring? Can you guys see my mouse? Is this the cuck ring? I don't even know. What is that? That worries me. It looks like a washer that belongs under your sink. And normally I would say that's probably a washer of some sort. But in here, I'm afraid to even guess. I don't even know what we're talking. I don't even know. I will say those cock rings, those things, I don't get that. You are going to finish this episode and go, is Aunt a fucking Is he who is the strict? I don't even know. I was going to say Mormon, but I don't think that's right. Who's the strict Roman Catholic? They're not that strict. They're sexual weirdos, to be honest with you. The Catholics are fucking out of their mind. I can't even tell you. They're whatever a strict religion. You're gonna be like, is Ant this strict religious part? Like, is it because he's? But I don't know. Why do you want to put it in a big rubber band? And then I never understood why you want your balls like in the same. They got to be. I don't want my balls. I don't want the first mates touching the captain. You know what I'm saying? I need separation. It's uncommon. It gets a little. And then who goes? I know. I want to stick it all in a strangling rubber. How did that happen? I don't even get it. But it must be popular. They sell it. I would be the biggest failure at the sex toy company. If they brought me the wiener ring, I would be like, you're fired. Get out. But they must be selling. They're still everywhere. I don't understand. Can somebody explain the wiener rings to me? You could DM me. It's okay. I mean, you could put it in the comments too. That I prefer it in the comments. But if you're too embarrassed, you can send a DM. AnthonyOnAir.com has forms for this kind of thing. There's a wiener ring form. Just make sure you fill out the right one. Anyway, my mom runs the subscription thing, so don't put any wiener ring thing in there because unless you want Joanne to have a heart attack, that's okay. Next question for everybody. There is a box with a young lady, looks very attractive. Seems like she's got some kind of a collar on her. There's a dude behind her. She's embracing him lovingly. He's grabbing her pretty aggressively. Hooter and stomach grab. Seems to be some kind of chains there and whatever. But on the box it says sport sheets. What's a sport sheet? What is that? Can somebody help me with what's a I don't even know if I want to know. What's a sport sheet? And why is it involved in the lovemaking process? What is one? Shouldn't a sport sheet be something that you have to bring to the game? What's that in your hand? It's a sports sheet. It's got the logo on it. It's, here we go. Got the Islander logo. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to put this sports sheet outside of my house. Let everybody know I'm an Islander fan. Why is there a sports sheet with a half titty girl hanging out there with a dude, topless dude behind her in chains, and he's holding her? What's a sports sheet? Don't even answer. Forget it. We're going to move. I don't even want to know. Let's move on from this. I don't know what this 8 boxes in the boxes that are closed scare me even more. Has anybody ever seen a tiny suitcase like that? Why is that suitcase so small? Is this, again, your old pal Ant doesn't have the bank account that Diddy does. Is this what billionaires do? Do they go out today and buy me 2 matching Oompa Loompa suitcases? I want a suitcase set for I want an Oompa Loompa size suitcase. Bring it here. Or is it just like, oh, I'm going to buy a watch and it comes in like a suitcase looking thing? How does it work? How does that work? Do you think there's drugs in there? Or a hard drive? These are all good guesses. These are all really good guesses. I think, Paul, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what the sports sheets are. It's for those water sports that people like to partake in. It's too much. It's too much. Honestly, it's too much. 6 Islander towels sold together equal 1 sports sheet. Let me tell you something. I got some Islander towels, Robin, I've been holding on to for way too long. You could almost see through them. I have Islander towels that were freebie giveaways from like 34 years ago. I'm like, it's still good. I'm like, don't throw these away. They're still good. I don't even know what why is this white towel wrapped up in some sort of masking tape sort of a thing? I don't even know. I don't even know. Why? What's in there? What is in there? This is why I can't be in the FBI too. I would have gotten to this point of the house and I'd be like, I'm not going to open that. I'm dibs on not opening the white towel taped up thing. I don't know. I don't want to know what that is. I don't even want to go near that. Don't mind this. It's just pieces of an AR-15, just a gun. Just no big deal. It's not like there's bullets around it. Spoiler alert, we're going to get to the bullet pictures. Okay. This is a box of Heartbreaker Deluxe Buckle Love Cuffs. Just a quick question for those who are more sexually adventurous than I. What's the difference between the deluxe model and the regular model love buckle cuffs? What's the difference there? Just curious. I don't mean to be a wise ass. I know I might be coming off as that. I just curious. What is it? I'm not entirely, because I'll tell you, at McDonald's, deluxe seems to mean lettuce, tomato, mayo. That's what deluxe means. And Wendy's too. I don't know if you know this. I don't know what's so deluxe about lettuce, tomato, and mayo. But it seems that if you want that on your burger, you got to order the deluxe one. I also love this idea of the deluxe junior burger. Feels like deluxe would be the largest burger you have, but we're not here to quibble about meat size. Okay? That sounded weird, talking about all this stuff on screen. The chain is plated on regular and it's solid on deluxe. Okay, that's an answer. Bird, that's an answer. I don't know if it's a true answer, but it's an answer. And we're going to go with it for now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I could just see Diddy get the deluxe because the regular doesn't really, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to need the deluxe. Okay. If you haven't picked up on this, even handcuffs are a bit too much for me. I don't know. I don't know. If somebody's like, cuff me, I'm going to be like, why? You're just that, because you're going to fall over. Like, that's a lot of balance. You can't, if you did this to me, I couldn't stand. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to fall over right now. If I don't have that ability to, it just feels like somebody's going to get, the ability to fall over or off the bed and just land face first without having your hands I don't know. Seems very worrisome. I don't get the handcuff thing. I know people are into it. God bless you if you are. If you are, may I suggest the deluxe buckle love cuffs? Because, it seems like it's in the hands of real professionals. I mean, this is a pretty big endorsement. This is like the Jordans, the Air Jordan ones, because it's like, well, it's the best basketball player on the planet. Knows his way around the court, Is that the thrill of it? Is falling off the bed and face planting the thrill of handcuffs? I like that they're buckle love cuffs. Like, make sure they buckle. We can't have snaps. And we're not using keys. That's not. Unfortunately for Diddy, the new cuffs he's going to have on forever are going to involve keys, which is great. And not some attractive young lady or woman is going to be, well, maybe, but the person who's going to be putting those on him is going to be wearing a badge. It's the thing. And that's not going to be a part of the role playing at all. All right. There's other, let's see here. I think zooming's a bad idea. Popsy lingerie. Can somebody help me out to what a Popsy lingerie is? What's a Popsy? Is that like, because I used to be kind of hooked on those pop sodas, the Doc Pops. Those are good. Is this just their lingerie arm? I don't even know. Is this one of those thin? Does it have to do with the thinness? That looks like a really thin bikini. If I was a better person, I'd put that on and wear it for everybody, because there couldn't be a funnier thing than me wearing that bikini. I don't have those chops. I love to make people laugh. I feel like people would laugh at that, but it also would burn a really bad image into your brain. So that's why I don't do it. But if I was a better person, more fearless, I'd wear that and it would be fucking hilarious. It would just be hilarious. It would be like, but that looks like the Borat bikini. The Borat one that he wears? That's what the Popsy lingerie looks like. Does anybody have any clarification on that? Okay. I don't know what the other things are in this photograph, but there's a lot. Oh, there's 3 sets. Look, 3. that count them. 1, 2, 3. There's now 3 clear high heels. This is some collection. That is some collection. Here's the gun parts taken out. And yes, that is a clip to the right and left of these weapons. There you go. That's what you want. And you're thinking to yourself, at least there's not drugs. If there's guns and weird sex stuff, at least there's not drugs involved. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And I don't know about you, because I take my pills. I got some pills. My parents got some pills. Those, oh my God, mom and pops, they got some pills. They're all different shapes and sizes and colors. They're not exactly all the colors of the rainbow like the Skittles that we're looking at right here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that color pink, unless it's in a Pepto-Bismol jar, that's going to be something that's going to fuck you up pretty badly. You know? That's going to be some shit. That's a pretty bright yellow. That's an odd-shaped white pill. Who makes a white squared-off pill like that? And then those blue pills. Is that Viagra? Thankfully, I don't know. And then there's a weird brown pill or salmon. What is with this particular pill right here? This guy. What does that one do? That's what you got to be afraid of. Are all of these pills suspect? Yes, they are. The lone pill. It's the one you got to watch out for. That's the one, like the quiet ones. That's the ones you got to watch. You got to look out for the lone pills. What's that? Where'd the other ones go? What's going on here? Are the bottles of baby oil stuff true? This is 6 bottles of baby oil. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottles of Astroglide with purple tops and 2 bottles with black tops, which I could only assume are also Astroglide. Actually, there's more in the bottom there. There's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of slippery surfaces. Is that what the sports sheets were needed for? I don't know. I don't know how it all works. That's just a lot. That's a lot. And you're like, who cleaned this up, Aunt? Oh, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to the sad sack of shit that had to clean this all up. Here's another shot of everything that we just looked at, only it's from a different angle so that you can see that there is rope involved. Are we tying up to the dock? What the fuck is that? Why is there that kind of rope there? What are you doing? A reenactment of fucking Pirates of the Caribbean? Why is there that kind of a rope? That's some pretty decorative ass rope. I'm sorry. That is just like, did you take that straight off of the boat? You swing by the old docks before you that's a lot of rope. That is a creative, dramatic choice. This character in this play is going to hang themselves kind of a rope. What is that? I don't own any rope. Does anybody? I got some rope in the garage. It don't look like that. Does anybody have rope like that? That's some cinematic fucking rope right there. That's a lot. That is a lot. Some cucks won't stay in the chair. I guess so, buddy. I guess so. I don't know if we could see what else this is. Okay, Doc Johnson. The fuck is that? What's that? What is that? What's Doc Johnson? Where do you find these things? I don't understand how this all works. For those of you listening, the Doc Johnson apparatus looks like it belongs on a male's part, but it also has a little piece above it, which I can only describe as the locks on a bike chain. Do you know the bike chains that are like solid metal all around, and then in the metal is just like a bulged lock part where you can switch the combo? You could just click, 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 click. You know that thing? It looks like that's on top. Is that a penis lock? What are we dealing with? Somebody's going to have to explain this to me. What's a Doc Johnson? Where do you... 4-year Johnson. Thanks. Yes. That would be, yeah, I got that part. That conclusion I safely arrived at without anybody's help. But I appreciate the extra. You can never always try with me. You can never, yeah. Good job, Paul. But I got there on my own. despite not being able to for other simple things. And what is it, Doc Johnson? I also don't know what it says on the side there, but it really is alarming. You know what I think about? This is how weird I am. Do you know what I think about when I see these things? I think about the poor, lowly graphic designer that is sitting there designing this box, and somebody had to say to them, you know what? Could we put a bluish hue? You know what I think it really needs is like a blue glowing light around it. That's what I picture. And I just picture that lowly graphic artist going, great, this is what I want to fucking do. Revisions on the cock ring box. Wonderful. Yeah. No, a blue glow is really going to sell more units. We got to make that adjustment. No problem, client. That's what I think of when I see things like this. And I can't not think of that stuff because there was somebody that added a blue glow to that. And I can't think that was their first instinct. I think that had to be a note from the manufacturer. Anyway, I digress. I'm too afraid to Google any of these things. I'm hoping that one of you will do it and share only a version of it that I can handle. Because as you can see, I clearly can't handle a lot of what we have to offer here. We do have a closer look at the Popsy lingerie, I guess. I guess that's a brand because this is different from the, or maybe it's not. Maybe that is the thing. I don't know. Down here it says one size fits all. Okay. I don't know what to think. You know what would be hilarious, though, is if I was at one of these sex parties, not one of his, one of the ones that people voluntarily go to, and you just put a camera on me. Like, you know how people are watching those, this is a thing now, like people, and I believe it or not, I've done this before, but prior to this podcast, we did, not prior to, but while we were doing this podcast years ago, we were doing a hockey show. And one of the biggest things that I used to do was watch games, but the camera would be on me and I would be watching the game, which seems kind of weird. But when you think about it, it's kind of cool because, like, oh, if you don't have somebody to watch it with, you could tune in and watch it. It was wildly popular. We did it all the time. Now everybody does it. Not to say that we were first, but I'm just saying everybody does it now. I think we need to do the same thing with the sex party. Like, you put me in the room. Maybe I could just watch a video so I don't have to be in the room because the smells is going to be a whole. I hear there's a big smell element to that. And I'm not good with that. I've been very queasy. I'm trying to eat healthy. It's just my gut health is like rebooting at the moment. So like the littlest thing makes me want to vomit, you know? Like I went to go pick up my daughter at a friend's house today and all her shoelaces were untied. And they were just like dirty from being dragged around the schoolyard all day long and everything. And I almost threw up from dirty shoelaces. So I think it would be hilarious to put me in a room where I'm watching one of these videos where people use these things and you just have the camera on my face to watch my reaction. Cause I don't know if I could fucking last. I don't know if I could do it. Cause I don't have a lot of patience for stuff. My daughter loves this show on Disney. It's like the Dance Moms show. Has anybody seen this? People are probably like, how's the guy bringing up Dance Moms on Disney in the middle of the fucking Diddy thing? Follow me here. She watches the show and all they do is bicker at each other. The dances stink. The dancers stink. The owner stinks. The moms stink. Everybody hates each other. Then here's the rival group. It's drama every show. You didn't try hard enough. You tried too hard. You know, your foot's not level to the ground. It should be perpendicular to the triangle of the floor. Everything is I go to my wife. I can't watch this anymore. Where's the episode where they go, hey, everybody did a great job? Not that I want to be one of those everybody gets a trophy people, but they can't be screwing up this much and be one of the top dance groups, can they? Feels like a lot. And then every week they go to a new dance competition. How much money do these people have? They're like, let's fly to New York. One episode, they were like, we're flying to New Jersey. Oh, the New Jersey thing got canceled? Well, then let's fly to Utah. What? How much could that have cost? What was the receipt on that? And then every town's got one of these things. And then they go, oh, you won 9th place. Oh, you won 4th place. And then they come out of there like, we got 4th place. Look at us. Like, where's this all leading to? It seems like a lot. So I have no patience for that. And I also have no patience for this. This is a lot. That's a lot of, how many restraint things do you need? It's like, this is what I need. I need you to be tied up with a proper boat tie. And not like, oh, my friend Ronnie has a 2-seater. I'm talking about a Royal Caribbean cruise ship dock fucking tie rope. I'm going to need one of those. Then I'm going to need a cock ring with an adjustable, lock on it. Then I'm just going to need another plain one. I'm going to need some sports sheets, some Popsy lingerie, and some nice high heel platforms. And God help you if those are not fucking see-through. Don't even come back with them. Like, these are the conversations I think Diddy is having. And I'm not basing this on nothing. He had his fucking assistant get all half of this weirdo shit. Wait till we get to the assistant testimony. I mean, that's going to be big. That's going to be big. Lots more drugs here. These drugs are labeled golden teachers, 250 milligrams. What does that mean? What's a golden teacher? I've never been more scared of a drug name in my life than golden teacher. My mind races to so many, when like a kid's going crazy and they're like spinning themselves around and they're just running back and forth and then they just plow face first into a wall. That's what my mind does when I hear the term golden teachers. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. When Anthony enters the freak-off party and everyone yells "Ant" like Norm and cheers. Rest in peace, Norm. George went, lost him yesterday. Guy was a legend. Let's take a minute and pause from the depravity conversation to recognize what a gentleman George Wendt was over the course of his career. He was just big, beer drinking, hilarious dude. A lot of us looked up to him. Okay. I'm just going to say that. Norm made it okay to be a little wide on the outside and have a couple beers and not be ashamed about it. I love Norm. He'll be forever missed. Rest in peace. I'm sorry, Norm, that during our AOA tribute, there was a package of golden teachers next to me while we were doing this. That was not my intention. I want to apologize to the Wendt family. Anyway, the last thing, which is really just beyond creepy and bizarre, is this bathroom where he wrote a bunch of stuff on the mirror. And I'll zoom in here. You can see, what do you want right there? What do you want? To get the fuck out of here. When I see what do you want on a mirror, my answer is instantly, I want to get the fuck out of here. I don't know how I got to a place where they're writing on mirrors, but clearly nothing good is happening. Have you ever been to a place where they wrote on a mirror and it was great? No, I don't think that's part of writing on a mirror. Somebody's writing on a mirror, there's some shit going down. Okay, because nobody thinks, I know, what a nice mirror. Well, look at the lighting in here. Let me write on it. Nobody thinks that. What do you want? To get the fuck out of here. When do you want to go? Now. Then it says, love you underneath. Love Diddy. You a legend. Something Puff Daddy. Nope, I can't read that. I'm not the right color to read that word. I think that's what that one says. This up here says something motion, or maybe lotion. Does that say Harvard or Captain Picard? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. And there's more little bits of writing over here. And then, yeah. There is just, I don't know. You a legend. Something Puff Daddy. I don't know. It's a lot of. It looks like it's lipstick, the red stuff, but I think that's just marker too. There's a lot of writing on a mirror. No. At least he has Listerine. Okay. I mean, if you're going to force me to say something positive, at least, people are going to be like, that was the craziest sexual assault of my life, but he had fresh breath. I'll give him that. How was Diddy as a boss? Oh, he was horrific. But his breath never stunk. I'll give him that kind of credit. His breath never stunk. There was also a closet shot. Oh, okay. The closet shot. Okay. Let's dive into this for a second here. Because this blurred thing right here is definitely a sex toy. That's definitely a sex toy. And that's not even the biggest problem I have with this photograph. What are you doing hanging these heavy electronics off of these Do you know how this is going to bend? Do you know how irresponsible this is? It was the first thing I was like, what the fuck is that? What kind of an asshole plugs in? As somebody who has a similar setup on the studio here, do you know how irresponsible? I have engineers that would die of a heart attack if they saw those big heavy plugs hanging from a rack like that. That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. Diddy has been accused of doing a lot of bad things. And one thing that he cannot dispute is he is not engineer approved. Okay? Not engineer approved. You don't just go leaving shit like that. That's fucking terrible. Anyway, there's a lot of products here. That's a lot of things. Yes, it's a lot of lube. Are those cassette tapes down on the bottom? What fucking year is this? You know, I don't even know what's happening here. There seems to be lots of gels and what is this big thing back here with a handle on it? You know what I'm saying? I don't even get who. I know he's a big fashion mogul and everything, but why is this much shit in their closet next to all these electronics? Oh, I think this is a bottle of Nature Made. At least he takes his vitamins. That's good. What's on the floor here? I don't even know. Are these TV remotes or cell phones from 1992? What's happening? What is happening here? This thing also looks like it went into a lot of dark places. I'm not here to assume things. But that looks like, that is not a lint brush, by the way. Oh, are you referring to the thing with the handle above? Oh, maybe. Everybody seems to think this is a lint brush back here. Oh yeah, it is. You can see the white part. You guys have good eyes. You guys are good. I still wouldn't grab that lint brush. If you said to me, here's a perfectly good unused lint brush from Diddy's house, I would be like, no, thank you. I'm not taking anything shaped like that from that guy's house. Because there's no way that wasn't somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be. There's no fucking way. I refuse. I am not taking anything like that. Also, I think my wife has this shampoo. It's cheap shampoo. What is this shit? I've seen this, the blue thing with the gold top like that. It's like some bullshit shampoo. It's not good. Or maybe my mom has that. All right, wait, hold on a second here. This is how you know I'm a fat guy with problems. This is Miralax. Okay. Now we've got a whole new set of issues with Diddy. Is he not shitting right? I know that's Miralax. I'm ashamed to admit that that's Miralax. You think there were some people that would be like, oh, I know that sex toy, or I know what sports sheets are. Here comes the fat fuck podcaster that's like, oh, that's Miralax. God, I wish I was just cooler. It didn't work out that way, but that's Miralax. That's weird. Is it all the crazy? Maybe baby oil constipates you when your skin is just absorbing baby oil and Astroglide so much that blocks you up. How does that work? Do me a favor. Do you tell your assistant, I need 47 bottles of Astroglide for the orgy? And you know what? Why don't you get me a fresh packet of Miralax? Because I'm horny and I'm not shitting right. Holy shit. You imagine you hook up with maybe you idolize Diddy and like, oh my God, I'm in Diddy's bedroom. And you open the cabinet door and you're like, oh, Nature Made, he takes his vitamins. That's a dildo. That's kind of weird. Boy, that's a lot of lubricant. Is that going to happen to me? Is that Miralax? That just feels like this should be hidden somewhere better. I have Miralax in the house. Of course I do. Anybody who eats the amount of chicken wings that I eat in a week needs to have Miralax. But I hide it. That's not in anybody's plain sight. That Miralax bottle is behind a lot of Tylenol and vitamin bottles and all sorts of shit. It's in the back. It is in the back. Oh wait, our own J Sabs. Here we go. Our sexual awareness reporter in the field. People take it for anal. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, but that I don't people Miralax doesn't make you shit. It just makes your shit come out. Does that make sense? Like you need what's that one? There's something that makes you poop, like it cleans you out. Miralax doesn't force it all out. It just makes it. I can't explain this. I'm not good at it. But there's other stuff to use if you need to blow out the back door, make sure that there's nothing in there. It softens. Thank you, Christella. Thank you. You're implicating yourself as a Miralax user, I think, just by saying. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the self. You sacrifice yourself there, Christella. Nobody's going to judge you here for it. That's not. I don't think that's the intended thing. But it just feels weird being in all this other stuff, doesn't it? Just feel strange. It's like I gotta have 48 bottles of baby oil. Gotta have it. Also Miralax. I can't be taking hard shits. I just can't be in there straining. I'm Diddy, for Christ's sake. I need soft, velvety poopies. I guess that's what if you're Diddy, I guess that's what you need. I guess that's it. X-Lax. Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I saw I've seen porn stars talk about like what they go through before like anal scenes. I'm like, you can't pay me. There's no amount of money. It's too much prep work. The same way I'm not an NFL wide receiver because all the practice and it's too much prep. This podcast, 4 minutes of prep. That's it. If you can't get ready in 4 minutes, it ain't worth doing. Okay. So NFL career and professional anal porn star. That's why I've passed on all of those things. It's far too much prep work. Way too much. Diddy didn't think Ant was going to scrutinize his medicine. I'm in there. By the way, everybody's probably talking about this in the world. No, I bet you nobody honed in on the Miralax like we did here. And that's a point of pride for this podcast. You're just going to get different coverage here. You're going to get different executive journalistic coverage of stories that you can't get anywhere else. Gayle King didn't see the fucking Miralax here. Candace Owens isn't on the Miralax. AOA is. Your old pal Ant's all over it. Diddy, on top of being a big piece of shit, clearly had trouble shitting. Okay? That's my slug line. That's the headline. That's what I want to see on the New York Times tomorrow morning. Podcast there makes grim discovery on Diddy. Piece of shit had trouble taking shits. You heard it here first. Walter Cronkite never said that kind of stuff. I do. It's a natural talent. What could I say? Let's see. Did we do everything? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the more shots of the... I don't think I showed this one. Oh, so we didn't go through everything, I guess. More shots of the baby oil. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of baby oil and Astroglide. And there's also, is this a fucking green rubber duck? What the fuck? What is going on? Where do you find those things? How does that, Diddy, where do you want the green rubber duck? Put it in the basket of Astroglide and baby oil, but not the full one. There's one that's missing a couple. That's where I like my baby ducks to go. In there. What happened? What happened to this guy? Who gets a green? This is what I need. I need 47 bottles of baby oil. I need a cock ring and 2 rubber duckies, 1 yellow and 1 green. And the green one better have an orange beak or don't fucking come back here. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong thing. What is this over here? It looks like a Eurogas. Could that be right? What's in this corner? Is that a Eurogas? Is that what that says? The UN 1070 model? EN42 nitrous. Is that a nitrous oxide food? Oh, food grade nitrous oxide. What do you do? What do you do with that? Nitrous oxide. Does that get you high? I think it makes your car go fast. If I've learned anything from the Fast and the Furious, we could light that shit on fire and go a lot faster. Is he lighting the nitrous oxide on fire and then taking a Miralax shit to blow it up? What is, I can't even screw the pressure regulator on the gas. Nope. Somebody gifted me with this wonderful thing that had one of those pressure regulators. It was like it was this like keg thing where if you make a cocktail, they give you little carbon dioxide things, and then you put it in this thing, and then it makes it like a seltzer. So like you can like pour, so like the cocktails will pour out like a seltzer thing. It was like that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this. And I forever have been afraid because it has a pressure regulator and I have to like follow these detailed instructions. And they're like these little silver cylinder things. And I'm just afraid I'm going to like try and screw it in and it's just going to like fire across the room, ricochet off something and like hit me in the head. And that's why I've never used it. It's in my garage today. I've never used it. In fact, maybe part of the giveaway will be the nitrous oxide things. Or, well, mine are carbon dioxide. I don't know what nitrous oxide does. What the fuck is that? Does anybody know what use a nitrous oxide thing would be for? Screw the pressure regulator on the gas cylinder by hand. That's important. Don't use any mechanical thing for it. Before use, always read the instruction manual. Fill with nitrous oxide, E942. Food grade according to the manual of the cream dispenser. Oh no. What? When the cylinder is empty, unscrew the pressure regulator. Pressure release nipple. This is a pressure release nipple, all right. Release the instruction manual. The cream dispenser. Oh, is that like, do you think that like squirted the baby oil or the Astroglide? I'm so confused. I don't even know what's happening. Also, what is this little cat package thing down here? Does anybody know what the fuck that is? Pink pussycat. Okay, somebody Google that. I don't think I can Google that on my computer without having to explain that to my wife. Could you imagine? Can you just picture Cuddles screaming at me and go, no, it was for the Diddy thing. It was for the Diddy thing. Like, that's just what I envision. So if somebody outside of me can Google that to find out what that is, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Okay. I think we've got it. Do we have enough of picture time? Would you like me to just keep one of the pictures on the screen while I read the rest of the Diddy trial updates from today? Because I could do that. And which one should we read? I feel like this first one is just interesting enough. Don't you feel like there's a lot to look at here with the sports sheets and whatnot? Okay, let's do that. So by the way, they had one of the FBI people or DOJ people or whatever on the stand, like just describing all these things to the jury. It was bizarre. It was beyond crazy. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I think we did enough on this. Let's go to the assistant. So Diddy's assistant took the stand today, and only for like 15, 20 minutes or whatever it was. It wasn't a long amount of time. Let me make this a little bit more manageable. Hold on. So we go this way with it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So Diddy's assistant got called to the stand today, and there's a couple things here. He only had 15, 20 minutes on the stand. His name is George Kaplan. From what I understand, I assume, was refusing to testify until prosecutors gave him immunity. And he was granted that immunity. There was a brief questioning outside of the jury's presence. Kaplan said he'd agree to testify since prosecutors offered him immunity. He was previously planning to plead the fifth to protect himself from self-incrimination. This is a good move. Listen. This is a young guy. Okay. You got to give this guy immunity. You're not going to break cases like this unless you give people the freedom to talk and talk about what they've seen. When we talked about Epstein, when we talk about all these creepy people and you discuss like what it entails in the world and people around them enable them, you want all those people to be stronger and come forward and help and bust these people. It just doesn't happen. They're afraid, their livelihoods are at stake, all that stuff. It's not until you get to these points and you give those people immunity that they can help these prosecutors put together a case. It's a necessary means to an end here. So that's the case of George Kaplan. So they give him immunity. He takes the stand. He's only up there for a few moments. There's going to be more questioning on Thursday. He answered questions directly. He laid out working long hours. He said there were monthly threats that Diddy would fire him. He said he worked under Christina Coram and primarily worked out of Combs' Los Angeles residence. Now, Christina Coram has been accused, allegedly, of being the Ghislaine Maxwell of the Diddy empire. So if you equate Diddy to Epstein, people are like Christina Coram was his left-hand person, his Ghislaine Maxwell, all that stuff. He said he worked out of Diddy's house for 80 to 100 hours a week. He recalled one time that Combs became angry with him because he bought 2 half gallons of water instead of the gallon that Combs had asked him for. In court on the stand, Kaplan said, "He threatened my job on occasion, monthly threats," was the quote. What kind of a crazy ass psychopath do you have to be to freak out over getting 2 half gallons of water instead of a gallon of water? I'm no expert, but unless you have a juggling act, I don't see how that's a problem. It's still the same amount of water you wanted, you know? So yeah, unless you're a juggler or you're helping your kid with some sort of, class project, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Seems like a big asshole thing to do. Kaplan told jurors how he set up hotel rooms for Diddy in Los Angeles, Miami, and New York. He said he booked rooms, including at the Bel Air Hotel, Trump International, Intercontinental Hotel, where Combs infamously was caught on tape beating Cassie Ventura in that now famous footage. Kaplan booked rooms under the name Frank Black, which he said was a reference to Biggie Smalls, since the famous rapper also went by the nickname Frank White after a character in the movie King of New York. Kaplan said he packed Combs' bag for hotel stays, which he made sure contained clothing, a speaker, candles, liquor, baby oil, and Astroglide personal lubricant. I guess the Miralax didn't make the cut on the hotel rooms. After hotel visits, Kaplan collected Combs' belongings and made sure the rooms were somewhat put back in acceptable shape. He said the rooms had garbage, including lots of empty bottles of Gatorade, liquor, and baby oil, and Kaplan once saw some brown crystallized powder left behind in the room. "I didn't know what it was, and I got rid of it," he told the jury. So for those of you that were curious, after we looked at all these wonderful photographs as to who was in charge of cleaning all this up, this poor bastard, this poor son of a bitch, working 80 to 100 hours a week, his job was to go into these hotel rooms and clean up after Combs, after all he was doing. This would be horrific and would be a bad job if we took away everything we just saw from Diddy and only left the Miralax. You know what I'm saying? If you were on a Miralax filled weekend and you sent your assistant to go tidy up that hotel room, this would be the worst thing I've ever heard of. And on top of all that Astroglide and such, and you're talking about the worst job on the planet. I'm surprised. What's his name? I am surprised the built Ford tough guy, fucking Dirty Jobs. What's his name? I'm surprised he never covered Diddy's assistant, because that's a segment I want to see. I want to see, what's his name? Fucking built Ford tough guy. The fucking Dirty Jobs guy. I gotta find his name right now. I know somebody's gonna beat me to the punch. Dirty Job. Mike Rowe. I just want to hear Mike Rowe fucking narrate poor Diddy's assistant's job. And here goes George Kaplan. He opens up the hotel room not knowing fully what to expect. Oh no, it looks like there was a freak off. How could you tell? Look at all the bottles of baby oil. Are those 2 caps filled of Miralax? They sure are. Wait till you get into the bathroom, assistant. We'll be right back with more dirty jobs after this. I once saw a thing where a guy's job was like to go into a sewer and like unclog like a shit tunnel. It was just a tunnel full of shit. I don't know where these shit tunnels go to, but he wore like high boots and he like was wading in human shit. And he was just like, I got to clean out the thing. That was the worst job on the planet to me up until this very moment. Until today. I got to come off of the shit guy and go to George Kaplan because this is horrific. This poor guy had to go into hotel rooms and clean up after Diddy. Could you imagine? Some brown substance that I didn't know what it was. You know what it all is. Call me crazy. I feel like it's our government's duty to protect American citizens. Do I want the Epstein list published? Yes, I do. Will I wait for it after we get a list of hotel rooms Diddy has stayed at? Yes, I will. Because I feel like the biggest threat to germaphobes like myself right now is accidentally staying in a Diddy hotel room. What if you go and stay in a room and Diddy was there? We have a right to, you know how like if somebody dies in a house, you have to legally disclose that before you sell it. That should be the rule for hotel rooms. Be like, we've upgraded you to this lovely suite. Just fair warning, there's no charge. Just want you to let you know, Diddy did stay here in 2012. The room has been cleaned. It's been 13 years, but I want to let you know, it's the nicest room we have. By the way, if you don't take this hotel room, you'll have to stay at the Roach Motel 6 across the street. I'd be like, what's their number? Because I'd rather have a roach crawl across my face in the middle of the night than lay in a bed that Diddy was in. It's just not happening. Thank you very much. I would rather hang myself with one of those fine Corinthian ropes that he ties up ships and people with than have to fucking lay in that bed where God knows what happens. I'm just going to imagine weird sports sheets on the bed. I just don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. This was all taken from 15 minutes of testimony from George Kaplan. Wait till tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow. Also expected on the stand Thursday, besides his former assistant, George Kaplan, Kid Cudi, the dude who got his car blown up over all this stuff, the guy who was with Cassie Ventura in and around the same time as Diddy was, will take the stand. So we're about to see a lot of fireworks. A lot of fireworks. By the way, there was also some testimony. Dawn Richards wrapped up where they asked her what celebrities were at a party. She had seen Cassie get punched in the stomach, what at a restaurant, how that happened with nobody else really realizing it. I have no idea, but she named Jimmy Iovine, Usher, somebody else too. She didn't say that they saw him strike her, but they pressed her. She didn't want to say who the celebrities were either. She wanted to keep it quiet, but they pressed her and pressed her and pressed her until they positioned the question where it's like, okay, they might not have seen it, but who was at the hotel, who was at the party, at the restaurant? And she listed those people. So, for people who go crazy over names, there's a couple of names for you. Doesn't mean that they're accused of anything or seeing anything and not doing anything. We don't really know. Will it get them called to the stand in this trial? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But we know that Kid Cudi is going to be there tomorrow, so we expect that to be a real explosive kind of a day at the Diddy trial, which I'm fucking exhausted. I can't believe we just did an hour. That was this first segment. We got to move fast. That was a lot to take in, though. I mean, that was a lot to take in. That was a lot to take in just now. I'm exhausted. I need a break. I need a break. I'm going to need a shot of something, maybe tequila, and then also a cap full of Miralax, now that I think about it. Did not move enough product today, if you know what I mean. Feeling a little blocked up. Anyway, I can't possibly grocery out worse than what we just did, right? Everybody's good? Okay. Let's move on to the Oval Office spectacle today. Always seems to be something going on with our current administration. They keep us on our toes. They keep us entertained. I don't know if they keep us safe or governed. I don't know. It depends on what side you're on. But essentially, the South African president was in with Donald Trump today, having one of these famous Oval Office meetings that President Vladimir Zelensky made famous with that whole fallout that occurred. And now it really seems to be a thing. Trump loves television. He loves the spectacle of it all. You know, this is like his bag. This is like his thing. Like, he just likes this kind of stuff. And it got off the rails. It started with a reporter's question asking him what it'll take for him to believe that there's not a genocide going on in South Africa right now. And then it kind of unraveled.
What will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for President. But for him, no, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather.
I mean, just listen. Frank would lose his mind if he were here right now. I will say this about the president, because we want to tell the truth, right? This guy loves being president on TV. He's a TV personality. I know for some people out there, he's the devil. I know for some people out there, he's your savior, and you love him no matter what, and you worship him. But let's be honest. This guy loves being on TV more than he loves being president. If TV coverage went away tomorrow, he would walk away from the White House. He'd walk away from it. He likes being on TV. He's a TV personality. He plays to a crowd. I mean, that's why they're doing these Oval Office things. He's not the first person to do the Oval Office thing, but he loves it. He loves bringing that media in. He loves that gaggle. He really does.
Our president will respond to you. Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture.
So, and again, I don't know the South African president here, but kudos to him on the strategy being, I brought three guys to back me up. Does that help you at all? It's like, what's it going to take for you to believe that this thing that's clearly happening is not happening? I brought three friends, and when everybody leaves, they're going to tell them I'm right. I'm not going to repeat it. I wouldn't dare, but they're going to back me up. Yeah, they're going to back me up. It's like watching my kids, like when I walk into the room and something's broken, and one of them's like, I don't even know how. Dad, funny story. Okay, ghost comes in, right? Knocks the lamp right over. Just looked at us and smiled as he knocked the lamp right over, and then he left. It's the craziest thing. It didn't have anything to do with the shoving that we were doing, Dad. Didn't have anything to do with our shoving. Back me up, right? And my daughter will go, yep, it's 100% right. That's basically it. Also telling Donald Trump to listen, that he's got to listen. That's a bold move. That's a gamble. I mean, Vlad, I feel like, was a lot more polite than that. And boy, did he get taken to the woodshed. So that's a gamble to do. Where this meeting goes from here is really, really interesting, because the South African president continues to talk. Then Trump, after hearing that answer, has to chime in. He's got to say something, which he does. Blah, 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 so on and so forth. Regular stuff.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. And just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
So the guy says there's no genocide happening, and Trump's like, okay, let's get the lights, please. Totally cinematic guy. Lights, please. He's got a presentation. He has a PowerPoint put together showing some pretty horrific things, and then JD Vance, who didn't get the memo that it was Blue Tie Day. I guess neither did Pete Hegseth, because they like to dress like him now. I don't know if you've noticed that. I mean, they're still kind of dressing like him, but usually they like to coordinate those ties. Anyway, as you can see here in this little clip, they're playing some footage of people calling for the death of the white farmers, I guess. And by the way, I don't know anything about this story of what's going on. I've read some things. I haven't looked into it. It seems to be a problem. Trump has a pretty strong PowerPoint here. And then, what's his name? JD Vance. By the way, thanks for not killing the new Pope, JD. Way to go, buddy. I don't know. It's kind of like, what's her name from Frozen? I think they put a glove on him before he shook so that the Pope's heart didn't freeze. I didn't see it. I wasn't there. I don't want to spread rumors. This is only best educated guess. I know he met the Pope. The Pope didn't die. I'm only assuming, like Anna and Elsa, there was a glove slide and a handshake so that there were no accidents. I don't know. Was Olaf in the corner? I don't know. I wasn't there. Stop trying to make trouble where there isn't any. Okay. All I know is two gentlemen went in a room and they both walked out for once. Okay. That was way different from the last time he met a Pope. Moving on. Anyway, after throwing the PowerPoint their way, as you can see, just next to President Trump is a pile of papers, and that's a lot of articles about all the deaths that have been going on.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South.
And so he goes on and on to say that that's not government policy and all that, which is, he changes his tune, which is basically to be expected. By the way, thanks to PBS for the clip on this. But I'm just realizing, okay, here's the full thing. We got to go to Fox for the full thing. Fake news. Okay. Which I'm going to go to.
Every week I get.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Okay. What is this guy selling? I work. Here's my secret. Work 2 hours and then make $40 billion. Type it into ChatGPT. I made a whole company. These fucking people. Anyway. The weird part that I wanted to point out was there was a reporter in the middle of all of this. So they're talking about genocide with a foreign nation. Seems to be a problem. And the press gaggle is there. And one of the reporters turns around and asks him about the airplane. Now, I don't like the airplane gift. The Republicans don't like the airplane gift. This dope is the only one who thinks it's a good idea. You got to read the fucking room. Okay, we're talking about genocide. This isn't like there's a war going on. This isn't a normal run-of-the-mill, hey, innocent people are being killed. Those are all bad things. Genocide is a bad thing turned up to 11. That's not the time to inject questions on totally unrelated subject matter. Now, that happens all the time in the press, right? I wish they would stop doing it. Also, sometimes you get a limited crack at the president. So I guess there is that feeling of, well, I have a question that I need to ask, and if this is my only chance to ask it, then I'm going to ask it. Okay, fine. But Trump blew up over this guy, and I can't say that I blame him in this particular instance.
Very similar to, I guess, the false accounts they had on him.
Well, I don't know what it is currently, but Letitia James, who's the attorney.
Conflict for quite a while.
Let's see if I can find the exact spot. By the way, this is an hour gap. Like, this is far too long to have press availability. These things are usually 15 minutes. You bring the press in, you sweep them right out. I mean, an hour and 3, that's crazy. Here he is, best in the biz. Flying Y is gifted another membership. Jump to the membership area as quick as you can. Try and join and get it. If you don't, join for only $2.99. We got a $2.99, $6.99, and $19.99 tier. Each are a little bit different, but for the most part, we try and just take care of all of our members in general. So if you haven't joined or haven't supported, please do so for $2.99. If you miss out on Fly and Y's wonderful gift to do a free membership, click the link in the description below right now to try and get that. But like I said, if you don't join, on Friday's episode, we're going to do a special giveaway, and that's going to be for members only. So if you want to be a part of something fun, make sure you join today. For $2.99, you could get in and maybe win the prize, and then you could never have to, pay the membership fee again. That's totally fine. We appreciate whatever support you can give. Even commenting, liking, and sharing the episodes, of course, are always wonderful and super duper helpful.
On which case?
The international
She chose her father.
deal to help us deal with COVID. So
Totally unvetted. They came from all over the world.
Okay, I don't know where the fuck this clip
That you
is.
saw in that movie, those are officials. So people are fleeing South Africa with white farmers from South Africa.
And it affects all farmers.
We're going to always be there to help.
President across the board
resolve and will support.
All right, I can't fucking find it now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He blows up over the dick, but he takes it too fucking far. Is the thing. That's what kills me about Trump.
What does it take from
It's
you
like, and I don't know why PBS would fucking, knock this part out of it. It was pretty. Oh, here we go. Oh, I guess it was an NBC guy. Let's go to Sky News Australia. Let's see if we can get you this clip. This is totally my fault, by the way. It's because I watched one thing and then I chose to go with another one instead, and that was clearly stupid.
We're accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, all right. So they just finished watching the film. He grabs that piece of paper from the side. He's about to confront this president about the genocide that's happening in his country. And dickhead over here is like, hey, could I ask you about the fucking plane? Like, read the fucking, like, important things are happening in front of your eyes. Do I think this guy needs to be criticized and questioned about this plane? To no end. You can't ask this guy enough questions about this stupid fucking plane that he's taking that nobody wants him to take. But this isn't the time. This isn't the time. This is why people hate the media. And the reason why I criticize is because I'd like to get people to like and trust the media again. It's hard to do when you have dickheads like this. Trump takes him to task, rightfully so, but I feel like he takes it a little
They would
bit
be
far.
accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
So Trump, you can see Trump clearly has an adverse effect. I'm going to go back a second, though, because I want you to listen to the room, which is filled with other reporters, by the way, and staffers. Listen to the little scuffle of talk after he finishes the question. Listen to the room.
What are you talking about? You to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing. They also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet. Let's go.
Thank you so much. President Trump and the disaster from EMCA in South Africa. Thank you.
Trump brings it up again later on. He's like, and that's what bothers me. He doubles down on it, like this shitty report. Like he doesn't say shitty, but he says this bad reporter later on in the thing. Too much. Again, think about this from Trump's perspective. If you just hold up those articles and you go, this is innocent lives being lost, and you want to ask me about something else, like focus up, read the room. if Trump says that and that alone moves on and never acknowledges him again, he looks like an even bigger asshole. But my problem with the way Trump handles this is he opens himself up for criticism again, which I know he doesn't give a shit, but your point is so much more poignant if you can just keep your cool. If you can just say, I'm trying to end the deaths of innocent lives in a foreign country. We're trying to do something important here, and you want to make me look bad and ask something else about something else entirely. Save that question for some other time when it makes sense. Read the room. We're talking about innocent lives here. Could you imagine? Do you imagine how effective and more popular he would be if he had just a slight bit more charisma and bedside manner? Just a slight bit more. Just a little more. He would be gaining in popularity instead of losing. And most presidents lose popularity over time, right? Because everybody gets elected. Whoa, we're excited, new things. And then over time, nothing really changes. And then you're like, I guess he did okay, right? Everybody goes down. You could be gaining, and you're not. With that being said, though, I wish you didn't take that stupid fucking plane. That's so stupid and bad. I'm not going to be able to spend as much time on the Candace Owens thing as I want to. I just want to say a couple of things. And I've kind of mentioned this before a little bit. Some of these internet personalities that we have out in the world have lost their way. I've said this about Joe Rogan at times, and I believe it's true. And I think he's one of the best in the business. I really think Joe Rogan does more good than bad. He's made mistakes. He's done silly, stupid things. Who hasn't? But Joe is in his own world a little bit. You know, like people accuse President Trump. Remember when Trump said, the kids are going to have $2 instead of 30? When you say shit like that, it's like, you don't live with the rest of us. I know you're in this country, but you just don't. You have no idea what most people are going through, right? And so Joe, I feel like it has that same little thing to him sometimes where he'll say something and he'll be like, he said something to the effect of like, I don't understand why people are overweight or, this and that. Like they can go to the gym. They're like, hey, some people work 12 hours a day, some people aren't as talented as Joe Rogan. So there's some things that he says that's a little off to me. Again, he's made some mistakes. He's done some things, but I feel like he's done more good than evil. But sometimes he gets so caught up in conspiracy theories that he does have that thing of like everything needs to be a conspiracy theory. All the big personalities, you name it, like Megan Fox and Shapiro and all these people. Candace Owens now is in this place where she made this deal with the Daily Wire. It didn't work out. She's been fired from a ton of places. She doesn't need any of these networks. She's out on her own, doing her own thing. But when you're out on your own, when you do this for a living, like I do, you can easily fall into a trap where, hey, if something works, I'm going to lean into it. I mean, that's what they tell you to do when you do a podcast or you do a YouTube channel or whatever. The people always say things like find your niche and lean into it. And listen, I've talked about this before. We've said stupid things. We've done dumb things. When I did that bit about Princess, what's her name, fucking dying, and was goofing with you guys and Frank for a little bit, that was massively popular, and we got a lot of play off of it. I could keep doing those things, but I don't. I choose to. You can say a lot about me and Frank and Jay Sabs and Aaron and Cuddles behind the scenes and all the other people you never hear about that work on the show and help us. We're integrity people. Could this podcast be bigger? 1,000,000 times bigger. I just don't want to. I don't want to do that. I want to do the show that we're all proud to do and let the chips fall where they may. I made a decision a long time ago. This was going to be a slow grow. over stunts and, fake stuff and bullshit that we could trick and gain the social media algorithm system to get ahead, Yeah. Viola, was that Linderella? Is that an example of some of the dumb things we said? Because that might be the number one dumb thing I have ever said, and I've said a lot of dumb things. But I highlight that comment because that was a true, genuine moment, and that's what we love to get on this show. Listen, we have two rules: entertain and inform, and hopefully in that order, right? Those are the two rules of this show. We're not here for our own gain. Like I said, believe me, we could be all making a lot more money. This show could be a lot more popular if we wanted to sell out to do popular things, to gain numbers and do all this shit. We don't do it. If it doesn't entertain or inform, you will not find it here. Okay? But you have somebody like Candace Owens who goes, all right, well, I did this crazy ass thing. I talked about this batshit crazy thing, and look how many numbers I did. All right, I'll say that Macron's wife is a man who was a brother, and it's also the dad. I can't even remember how fucking crazy that was. None of it was true. Everybody laughed at her, but she did huge numbers because people are interested. People feel like the government, especially no matter what country they're in, is trying to pull the wool over their eyes. It's not an absurd feeling, right? And it was instead you're robbing me for $2.99 says per. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I by the way, it is you know what, Bert? It's a good point. It's the members like you guys that have given us the ability to not have to do those things. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes it's touch and go with this show on what we can afford and not, and keep going and all that stuff. So I do have those moments of like, fuck, what are we going to do here? But the members have kept us afloat so far, and we'll hold through it all to hopefully come out on the other side much bigger. We're betting on the integrity move. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're betting on it. So thank you guys once again, every one of you, from the big 38-month members to Linderella, who's been there for 13 months, and the person who just joined yesterday. We appreciate you all. But what I'm saying with Candace Owens is you get into these things and then you just get hooked by it. It's like an intoxicating drug. Oh, if I say this, I'll get this much play in social and on free media. Well, then here we go. And the latest thing that Candace is doing now is, hang on, everybody, Harvey Weinstein is innocent. And I know that the Candace Owens lovers are going to come after me, and they're going to be like, you don't know the fucking case. She's done the research. Do your own research. Right? What she's saying, basically, I'll save you a lot of time and from you having to view her bullshit. She's saying basically that out of all the accusations, which I believe there were around 130, 3 people were the ones who put Harvey Weinstein behind bars. It was 3 people involved in the case. Now, his case was overturned on appeal. He's currently still in prison, for the retrial. So, is there some credence to what she's saying? Certainly. His case wouldn't have been overturned if there wasn't, some issues with the case. But if Candace Owens is my friend and she calls me up and she says, Aunt, I have an opportunity to interview Harvey Weinstein. His case was just overturned. I think he's totally innocent. I have a chance to interview him. Should I do it? My answer would be, Candace, no, you shouldn't. Because do you have a point that perhaps there's an issue with the 3 ladies that wound up putting him behind bars? Yeah, you might. Does that mean that he is a person worth standing next to? And the answer to that, let me help you, Candace, is no. Because sometimes good people get blamed for bad things, and it's a terrible tragedy. Sometimes bad people get blamed for bad things, and they can maybe prove that they didn't do those bad things. But I would have a hard time thinking you can get out of those other 127 bad things. You know what I mean? I said this to Frank not that long ago. The Abrego Garcia stuff. I understand there's a moral thing that the Democrats are standing behind. But is Abrego Garcia the hill that you want to die on? And I'll help you out again. The answer is no. The answer is that's not the hill you want to die on. Not while there's people out there talking about, this person killed this person sexually assaulted this person. There's lots of evidence and things out there right now in the illegal immigration area that is just, it's making it a loser issue for the Democrats. And I would say the same thing to Candace Owens here. Do you have a point? Do you think that the facts of the case don't line up and that he should have won? Okay, that's fine. And you can say that if you want to. But do you want to put him split screen next to you and point out how much of a raw deal he got? I know we're all justice warriors now. I know. I get it. I know we're all freedom fighters. I know we're all damn the man, and we have to have our freedom to do whatever we like. And we got to stop mainstream media and the liberals from ruining everything. I'm not opposed to any of that. But if it puts me split screen next to Harvey Weinstein and it's going to look like he's an upstanding gentleman, no thanks. Pass. Hardcore pass. I am not going to do it because I'll tell you what this looks like to me. This right here looks like somebody who absolutely sold their soul for views. I don't even want this split screen of me critiquing these two idiots. This looks like I can be bought and sold for views. It's easy. I know what's shocking. I'm a woman. I'll come out in favor and support of Harvey Weinstein. How is that not going to do numbers? Oh, it is absolutely going to do numbers. But is that something that you want to do? And I know she's looking at this from, I'm doing the right, I'm freedom fighting. The Me Too movement went too far. It was just too much. And is there a little truth to that? Probably. Listen, that was an amazing time. And you can't have anything like that moment that doesn't go too far. Did innocent people get dragged into it? I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it. We heard a lot of accusations back then, and a lot of people went free and clear. The guy who played Ari on Entourage, there's a lot of shit said about him. I think all of that was wiped out. Turned out those people were lying. Kevin Spacey went through the grinder. He's come out of it. I don't know if he's back all the way, but he did it. There's a lot of issues still with those cases and everything else, and people still think he was guilty. And I'm not here to defend Kevin Spacey. I will defend Kevin Smith, though. I mean, he's never been accused of doing anything but making, fart humor movies. But I'll defend that motherfucker to the end. I love Kevin Smith. Even though he did work with Harvey Weinstein, I'll still defend that son of a bitch. Fat guy from New Jersey. There's no way I'm turning on Kevin Smith. No fucking way. Where'd I go? My love for Kevin Smith has blinded me. But my point is, these people do these crazy things just for views. Like, I feel like 5 years from now, Candace Owens is going to look back at this and go, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, yeah, okay, the case had some issues, but did I have to put the guy on my show and give him an opportunity? I'm going to play you the beginning. I'm going to play you the beginning because they start this fucking atrocity with allowing him to read a prepared statement. I've been doing this a long time. You don't allow this to happen. Even if you think everything that happened to him during the trial was wrong, you don't let him take the mic and speak freely. Even if I wanted to do what Candace did, and I was going to be like, hey, this trial is wrong. I think this guy's a scumbag and he needs to be retried and put away properly. Okay, that's one way to do it. But you don't go, I'm going to do that and let you talk for fucking 3 minutes at the top and read a thing about how innocent you are, how these are all crazy coincidences. That's fucking batshit crazy. It's fucking batshit crazy.
I just wanted to say that I'm not angry, but I'm angry at the system. You know, my situation was transactional, you know, looking back at it. And I want to thank you, Candace, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I just want to say something very clearly. I believe women should be heard, but I'm wrongfully convicted. You know what I mean? And right now, I'm not convicted. I'm on a retrial. An appeal overturned my conviction, but justice demands a clear, honest look at each case, and I am here for fairness and the truth. You know what I mean? You know, I made mistakes. There's no question about it. I hurt my family. I hurt my friends. I cheated on my wife, and that was a mistake, you know, a terrible mistake. And I apologize to friends, family, and all the innocent people who inadvertently I hurt, and especially to the Messick family, Jill Messick and her family. But I did not commit these crimes. I swear that before God and the people watching now.
Okay. I want to thank you, Candace, for giving me the platform. Are you fucking kidding me? If Harvey Weinstein was like, I want to thank you, Ann, for giving me the platform, so that he could sit there and be like, women should be believed, but these women are lying about me. What? You fucking serious? I love all these people. Is Diddy a physical abuser? Yeah. Does he overwork his employees? Yeah. Does he have extraordinary amounts of lubricant and baby oil and drugs and guns? He sure does. But he didn't do any of the bad things these people are saying. Oh, sure. Sure. Most criminals I know do 7 out of the 8 bad things that they're accused of, but not that last bad thing, right? Not that really bad one. Did I cheat on my wife? Did I, pressure people into doing things? Yeah, but I didn't assault anybody. Really? Really? Because I think you did. I think some of that behavior is indicative to other behavior. And I'll tell you why I'm so confident. And I couldn't even go back and find this. But at the time, there was this woman who was trying to get a marketing company off the ground for movies. She basically, all right, so if you don't know anything about me, while I was on the air, I started doing different marketing things, right? And in the dawn of Facebook ads, I would run Facebook ads for the businesses around me. And it got really popular. And it got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore because it was too much to manage and handle. This woman was doing the same thing because for a while there, 2015, 16, Facebook ads were unbelievable. Like you could reach so many people. Now everybody advertises online. It's too much. Then nobody was really doing it. You could reach people like if you love the Grateful Dead, there was a way to reach Grateful Dead people. So it's like if I'm selling tie-dye shirts, I target Grateful Dead fans and I can make a lot of money putting my tie-dye shirts in front of people who buy nothing but tie-dye shirts. Have you ever seen a Grateful Dead fan in a black t-shirt? Fuck, it doesn't. It's everything is tie-dye. I don't understand it. It's great music, but enough with the tie-dye. Anyway, so I started helping these local businesses, and these local businesses at the time, I can say this now but like my radio station would charge, $50, $75 for a 30-second ad, 60-second ad, whatever it was. They were charging extraordinary amounts of money. You could run a Facebook ad for like $2 and reach the same amount of people. There was crazy money. And so this woman was doing the same thing. She was like, hey, this is what we do. And so she filmed her meeting with Harvey Weinstein, which he insisted be in his hotel room. Now, she's a young exec trying to get this thing off the ground. She gets a meeting with Harvey Weinstein. She's very attractive. Clearly, that's the only reason why. And the way he touched, talked, and treated her throughout that whole meeting is so fucking sickening. And the video is out there to watch. I'm sure you guys can find it. Type in movie ad exec marketing person assaulted, whatever, right? You could probably find it. I refuse to go back and look at the video, but the way he treated her was so fucking disgusting. I watched the video. I remember I was in my old radio station studio, and I watched the video, and I was like, everything that everybody's saying about this guy is 100% true. You cannot change my mind about it. Out of 130 women, do I think there's a possibility that 15 or 20 of them or 30 of them are lying? Yeah, okay. I would even go as far as to say 75. I'll give you 75 people are totally lying about this guy. There's no fucking way 130 plus people are lying about this person. There's no fucking way. There's no way out of 130. And she says this too. She's like, I thought out of all those people, somebody would be guilty, but clearly not. Clearly you're an asshole, Candace, because if you've seen what I've seen, there's no way you think, oh yeah, you did all these bad things. You cheated on your wife. You pressured people. You flirted with people. You did all these things, but you didn't assault anybody. There's no fucking way this fat fucking booger didn't overextend his reach with these women. And now you're giving up a platform to look good. Like, I believe women should be heard. How the fuck could you? You claim to be on the side of victim. And believe me, nobody hates anybody more than somebody who's lying about something, because that's the worst for victims, right? You don't want people lying about sexual assault. This is serious shit. You find out they're lying, it hurts the real victims that do come forward. I'm a big proponent of that. It's part of the reason why I fucking hate Meghan Markle. But again, is this the person you want to be standing next to? Is this the hill you want to die on? You have no integrity. None. You have none. Do you have a little point here that there might be problems with this trial? Sure. But you can honestly sit there and let this guy read a statement on your air and feel good about yourself? How could you fucking sleep at night? This is fucking terrible. We got him to talk. We got him because nobody else could. Nobody else wants to. Nobody else wants to put this guy on their air because he's guilty as shit. And if he's not guilty of these 3 instances, he'll be guilty of others. I'm sure as I'm fucking sitting here, there are at least 15 other women that thought to themselves, he's behind bars, so I don't have to do it now. But if he goes free, I guarantee you those women will be like, now I have to say something. Now I have to move forward and make sure he gets what he has coming to him. And what is this fucking asshole going to be there saying? Oh, it's just like everything else. They're going to come at, they didn't get him on this, so they're going to come after him on that. That's exactly what she's going to say, because she has to fit the whole entire world into her podcast, right? It's got to all work right here. It's got to all be conspiracy theory. They've got to be fucking you over. If they can fuck with Harvey Weinstein, they can fuck with you. It's fear mongering. You know what pisses me off the most about all the new media people? Because I feel like I'm a new media guy. They sit there and they go, the left-wing media, the mainstream media, they just fear monger. You're fear mongering, but you're masking it. If every story in a podcast that you're watching or listening is, if they can do it to them, they could do it to you, you're on the wrong show. You're not doing yourself justice by spending time with that person, because all they're doing is running the old legacy media playbook in a new format. That's all they're doing. Stay tuned, because if they can do whatever to this person, they could do it to you. We're here to fight for your freedoms and all this and that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're here to cash in on views. You're here to absolutely cash in on views. Thank you, Rhonda, for agreeing with me. I like an absolutely agreement. You know what I'm saying? The yes is nice. You tack on an absolutely, and that makes me happy. That's an absolutely agreeable moment there. Thank you for that, Rhonda. Appreciate that. Stupidity, just absolute absurd stupidity from Candace Owens. I had a lot of hope for her. Just thought she could be like this great independent voice and everything, and she's just floundering it. They go on later on to talk about how Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, here it is. Here, Gwyneth Paltrow. Let me play you this clip. Let's play this one.
Are you driving way less than you used to? Do you have a clean driving record? Are you over 25?
Yes.
Do you not have a DUI? Then you're likely paying too much for car insurance. And you can drop it to as low as $38 per month.
Oh my God, $38
I wish that I had
per
done
month.
this sooner.
Feel so uncomfortable. We had one instance in a hotel room where he made a pass at me. And then I really kind of stood up to him. I told my boyfriend at the time,
Brad Pitt.
we were at the open.
By the way, anybody else notice that integrity move from Miss Vagina Candle over here? She goes, my boyfriend at the time, and Howard has to chime in and go, Brad Pitt. You mean Brad Pitt? Like, who doesn't go, I'm banging Brad Pitt at the time, and then my boyfriend at the time. Like, that's such a who doesn't name drop Brad Pitt? That's an integrity move. That's a fucking integrity move. I don't care who you are.
Opening of Hamlet on Broadway that Ray Fiennes was in Hamlet, and Harvey was there, and Brad Pitt. It was like the equivalent of throwing him against the wall, energetically. What he did was he leveraged his fame and power to protect me at a time when I didn't have fame or power yet.
Right. Wow. It moves you.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
So she says Gwyneth Paltrow says on Howard Stern, hey, Brad stepped up because he was the big star and I wasn't, and he was able to get in there and defend me against Harvey Weinstein. And listen to what Harvey Weinstein says in return.
He said, if you ever make her feel uncomfortable again, I'll kill you.
That's what Brad Pitt said to Harvey Weinstein.
It's a complete fabrication, about my relationship with Gwyneth. I'm going to talk about it and just say that I had a meeting with her. She originally was scheduled to do Woody Allen's Everyone Says I Love You. Thank God I was distributing that movie as well. And I managed to substitute Drew Barrymore for Gwyneth so that Gwyneth could play Emma. And Woody Allen did us a real favor by doing that because we were scheduled to shoot Emma and I wanted Gwyneth for the role. At the end of the meeting, we had a glass of champagne. As I was walking out the door, I said to her, I'd love you to give me a massage. And she went, yeah. And, that was it. I didn't put my hand on her. I didn't touch her. I definitely made a pass, I guess, you could call it that. But that was the sum total of that situation. She did have Brad call me, and Brad, very manly, very cool, just said, don't do that again. And that was that. We made 11 movies together, classic films, Shakespeare in Love, Talented Mr. Ripley, Sliding Doors, just so many great movies and such a great partnership. And now I heard, that she thought the relationship was abusive. Anybody who was there who witnessed that relationship, it just turned into total friends. There's pictures of her hugging me when I was sick, when I was sick and in the hospital and didn't think I was going to make it in 1999.
Okay. Does anybody believe this? Does anybody believe that? Do you believe that he made a pass at her and just stopped there? Come on. Candace Owens believes it. She ate that shit up. Ate it up. I made a pass. By the way, I've been in a lot of meetings in my day. A lot of meetings. Professional meetings. Let's put all those aside. I've been in bars where you exchange some glances with another woman and you're like, oh, there might be something here. I've never gone up to that person and go, hey, you want to give me a massage? Kind of a fucking move. A booger, a human booger, a overweight, bald, not a redeeming quality in you other than you can pick a script. Piece of shit. What makes you think that young, beautiful women would want to give you a massage? We had a glass of champagne, and I said, hey, do you want to give me a massage? Who the fuck? That alone. Because let me tell you how normal, self-aware men do it. When there's been enough flirting back and forth, when there's a rapport that has begun, when it's clear that this girl wants to take the relationship to a physical level, the move is, can I give you a massage? That's the move, right? That's the move. I'm a married man. I could tell you there are some times where I say to my wife, oh, are your feet sore? Are your legs hurting? Does your back hurt? Can I give you a massage? I like to please my wife. I'd like to make her happy. I'd like to alleviate a bad back. That massage means, hey, if I do this nice thing for you, can I maybe, is massage going to lead to, that? But you offer the massage. If my wife was like, oh, my back hurts, I wouldn't be like, honey, do you want to go upstairs and give me a massage? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? The more attractive person needs to get the massage. And in 99% of straight male-female marriages, the more attractive person is the woman. In 99% of them. I can comfortably make that blanket statement. Without a doubt. That's it. That's it. Gay marriages, different story. Could be either one, right? You got two men, you got two women. Could go either way. When you have a male and a woman, 99% of the time, the female is more attractive. It's undoubtedly more attractive. Prettier. They get the massage. What? Fucking you. Want to give me a massage? Oh, thank God. Thank God you said something, Harvey, because I was afraid that we were just going to have a glass of champagne and I was going to leave and there was going to be no sexual encounter among us. Because I don't know if you know this about me, but I grew up, those Mucinex commercials where the boogers talk to each other? For some reason, I was always very aroused by that. And when I met you, I thought, oh my God, here can all my fantasies can come true. I can finally have sex with one of the Mucinex boogers and it'll be magical. So thank God you offered me the ability to give you a massage, because I was honestly going to go home and cry in my pillow. I'm fucking Brad Pitt, right? Because why would you think I'd want to go from that to the Mucinex booger? Why? This guy flung his power around to assault and abuse women. And I bet you it didn't even stop there, because I'm sure if people didn't have careers, there's a bunch of men that maybe they weren't sexually assaulted, but I'm sure they were verbally abused at the hands of this piece of shit. This guy could rot behind a jail cell for the rest of his life. I don't feel bad for him one iota, and I would never do what Candace Owens is doing by giving him a platform to minimize the people that he victimized. You gotta be better than this. Come on, man. These fucking people. Oh, Bird, no. I haven't had a massage in years. I'm ugly. That's not true, Bird. You're not ugly at all. I'm sure there are people. I bet you if we opened it up to the audience right now, you'd have 10 offers for a massage at the moment. I'm going to warn you, though. One of them might be from Harvey Weinstein if he's watching. So just be careful. Just before you start taking people up on those offers, just be careful with it. Okay? I can't have you next to Harvey Weinstein. I'm going to have wacky dreams again now. Thanks, Ann. If I get chased by a giant booger man, I'll be pissed. Sorry about that. We should have put a fucking disclaimer at the beginning of this episode. So anyway, fuck Candace Owens. Gayle King might be on her way out of CBS. She was making $13 million a year. She signed a 1-year agreement to make 10. And now her contract is up again. And there's lots of rumblings that they just can't afford her. The CBS News department is in shambles. The morning show, the CBS Evening News ratings are tanking. I think people are tired of legacy media. I think the question about the Qatar plane in the middle of the, South African genocide conversation is a key element to the whole thing is off the rails. I believe in media. I believe in freedom of press. I want President Trump to do a better job answering questions from the media. I don't want it to get to a point where we can all go under the cover of you can't trust these people, so just trust what your president is saying. That's even more dangerous, if you ask me. I'd rather have a dishonest media than just forget the media altogether and trust the person with the power. That's not how this is supposed to go. Forefathers wrote that right into the instruction manual at the very beginning, right? That press, freedom of the press was in that was early. It's early in the instruction manual that some people call the Constitution. So, there's that element to it. But when you look at how this whole thing is structured, there's a lot of cracks in the foundation of legacy media, and we're seeing them play out in real time. Nora O'Donnell, like all these big reporters who are making all this money are leaving because just a nice face and a good reader doesn't cut it anymore. People want some truth. They want less spin and more conversation. Here's what's happening. We don't have a chance at succeeding if we're not giving people what they want. Conversation, back and forth, rapport, what's real, what's not real. This is what I believe. This is an integrity move. This isn't. Or this is an integrity move, and this is what Candace Owens is doing. However you want to, whatever. It doesn't matter. And we're seeing it crumble. And, you got really talented people who are good at these things who aren't going to be able to function anymore. The ad dollars aren't there. If the pharmaceuticals can't overcharge us for drugs, they're not going to advertise. If the pharmaceuticals don't advertise, you have probably 8 out of 10 networks going out of business. Mass consolidation where just only there'll be a few, news outlets, and that'll be the only ones who can survive. But let's be honest, there's too many news outlets right now. Think about all the people giving you news on a daily basis, like not what we do, but like news, like one story after the next. There's too many of them. It's too much. We need the media. I'm not saying we get rid of them, but it's fucking too much. It's way too much. There was video of this gentleman who is graduating, and he's running across the stage as cops are chasing him, and he's holding his kid in his arm. And I'm like, what is happening here? What was happening in this video? Supposedly, this guy is graduating college, and he asks at the rehearsal, can I bring my son on stage to get the diploma with me? And they go, yeah, sure. Fine. And then at the last minute, when he's got his kid there, they're like, hey, you can't bring your kid on stage. It's an insurance thing or whatever bullshit. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he looks like he's going to make a run for it. And the cops literally follow him on stage. Like they're going to arrest him. And he's running from the cops on the, because big graduation stages are huge. He's running from the cops, fucking 3-year-old, in hand, to go get his diploma, because he promised his kid, his 3-year-old son, that he was going to graduate for him and he was going to take him on stage when he did it. That's fucking beautiful. What fucking weirdos tried to stop that? Like, what asshole? You had to see the cops smiling when they realized they couldn't get him and they were on the middle of the stage. They were going to arrest him for doing this until the crowd started booing them. And then they left him alone. He put out a statement. He's like, I'd be in jail for doing this. Who the fuck are these people? Who can't see a genuine moment? What are they afraid? He's going to drop his baby on the stage? He's going to okay, those are all valid things, but you just go, okay, go ahead. He dressed the baby up in a matching cap and gown. Who stops that bit of adorableness? To try and arrest him? Dude, there are some, you say all these crazy stuff about the people on the right, the Candace Owens, some of these, that's a left thing. That's not a Republican down there going, I don't know if we could take that kid up on the stage. That is a liberal leaning, lefty, crazy fucking person. That's like, we gotta follow the rules. By the way, teacher, you didn't give us homework. Just let him fucking go. Who cares? What a beautiful moment. Now that moment is forever going to be. I was running across the stage to avoid cops on my way to get my diploma, which God knows what this poor bastard paid for and what kind of fucking loans he's going to be under. You know what I mean? Oh my God, the kid's not gonna get a car when he grows up because dad had to fucking take out $1 billion loans just to get a goddamn college degree. We're almost into 2 bills here on this episode. I can't believe how big this one has been. I blame all the Diddy stuff. It was the Miralax that really fucked us up. It's not the first time I've said that. Elvis Costello did an interview with the Post where he said, he's going to still be performing, but that's it for new music. He's not going to make any new music, which is heartbreaking for me because I love Elvis Costello more than I love 9 out of 10 of my cousins. And I want to apologize to all my cousins that I love, but I love Elvis Costello more. Do I love my cousin Richie and Michael? I do. Did they write Veronica? No, they didn't. Did they write Pump It Up? No. They couldn't even write a good parody of that, to be honest with you. But Elvis Costello is one of the greatest, most prolific songwriters we've ever had. I've seen that guy live. I had the chance to meet him and speak with him. I watched him get insulted by a woman who has no social graces whatsoever. And the whole thing was amazing. His performances are ridiculous. He's got one banger after the next. And up until his last record, I'm like, this guy is still writing just fucking catchy shit. He's just still writing good stuff. Is it Pump It Up in Veronica? No. But it's still pretty great. And to hear that he's hanging it up is kind of heartbreaking because I know he didn't write a bunch of songs towards the end, but Johnny Cash was great until the day they put him into the grave. Levon Helm was another one who just had it all the way into the last day that they put him in the dirt. And I think Elvis Costello is one of those guys, and I want him to keep performing, but I want him to keep writing. I hope he does. All these artists need a little bit of Prince in them where they're just like, I'm going to write shit and just put it in the vault so that people have stuff for when I go. That would be the absolute best. So I wish Elvis all the luck in the world, but what else are you doing? Go write some songs. Don't put the guitar down just yet. Keep writing some shit. Record it on your iPhone for all I care. Like, we just want to hear the genius that comes out of your fucking brain all the time. So I was sad to hear that from Elvis Costello, but at least we'll have the chance to see him perform still. By the way, if you have a chance to go see him perform, go, because he is unbelievable live. I haven't seen him recently. It was like 10 years. When did we see Elvis Costello? 10 years? It was before Michael, right? Maybe 12, 13 years ago. I don't even know. But he was fucking great. He was really, really, really great. All right, that's it for your old pal Ant. Big one tonight. Apologies. Went on for too long. But again, Astroglide, Miralax, clear platform pumps. These are the things that will add on to a podcast. They'll just add a little bit more time. We're back Friday. As I mentioned, we're going to do a fun little giveaway on Friday. You got to be a member to take part in it. If you like the show at all, like if you kind of think we're good, you'll enjoy this little prize. It'll make you smile. It'll make you laugh. And we'll have a little fun with it. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is. You'll see it once the people who win it get it. But we'll do that on Friday's episode. So make sure you're a member. Join right now. You can do so for as low as $2.99 with the link in the description below. Need a couple more members in there. So if you've been on the fence of joining, or if you've been watching us for a while and you're like, maybe I should join. Our little giveaway is going to be fun on Friday. So join us for that. Hopefully we'll have Aaron C. back for another game time on Friday, and it'll be a Memorial Day weekend episode. So we'll do a bit for you there, drive you all the way through the entire Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy your Thirsty Thursday. Look out for more on the Diddy case with Kid Cudi taking the stand in Manhattan on Thursday against Diddy. And that's it. We will see you guys then. Membership link in the description below. Make sure you hit that. See you guys on Friday. Thanks.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we should go now.